The beginning of the story, we see a cunning thief named Frank Morris, who is being taken to the world's most secure prison, Alcatraz, for a life sentence for bank robbery. Alcatraz is a prison built on a small island in the middle of the sea, making it impossible for prisoners to escape, as the sea blocks their path even if they manage to break out of the prison. This prison was considered the most secure in the world, housing only the top criminals. However, its reputation was about to be tarnished with the arrival of Frank Morris, a repeat offender who had escaped from prison multiple times. This time, Morris was nervous, knowing Alcatraz was different. As he enters the prison, he's thoroughly searched and locked into a cell. A guard comes and says, "Welcome to Alcatraz." Suddenly, a bell rings, and all cell gates open automatically. The officer calls the prisoners out, and the strict discipline of the prison becomes apparent. Prisoners are required to follow strict rules, including cleanliness and adhering to a uniform dress code. They line up for breakfast, where Morris meets Litmus, a fellow prisoner, and asks about eating noodles without a spoon. Litmus tells him to keep a low profile and eat what's given. Wolf, a notorious prisoner with multiple rape cases, starts harassing Morris, who is rescued by Litmus. Morris notices Litmus feeding a mouse instead of eating himself. At night, a guard takes Morris to the warden's office, where he's warned about attempting to escape and told that he's intelligent but trapped. The warden threatens severe punishment for any misbehavior, to which Morris responds sarcastically, saying no one would dare escape with the warden watching. But actually, Morris had already started planning to escape from here from the very first day. During this time, Morris stole the warden's nail cutter as soon as he saw the opportunity. It was a very small thing, but Morris knew that in a prison like Alcatraz, this small nail cutter could do a lot of good. As soon as Morris returned to his cell, he hid the nail cutter in a Bible. The next day, Wolf started bothering Morris again in the bathroom, but this time Morris was not going to leave him. Now Morris shows his true form and catches him and beats him badly. Morris became a special status in the prison. Everyone started to fear Morris. After this, Morris is given a job in the library. There he meets a man named English. He is a senior prisoner of this prison. English was also sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of 2 men. He spent his entire life in prison. He is familiar with the ins and outs of this prison. He is aware of everything that happens in this prison. He also knows that there was a fight between Morris and Wolf this morning. He gives Morris some books which Morris has to deliver to each of the prisoners' cells. In the next scene, they show an open area where the prisoners are playing some game. Then he meets an artist named Doc who is making his own painting. Doc is a simple and honest person who has been serving his sentence here for many years. He was very fond of painting. His painting has kept his mind functioning normally. Morris asks Doc why he made this flower in this painting. "There is nothing like that on your shirt." Doc says that it is my happiness that is only in the painting, not in my mind. He looks to his right and sees English above him. Morris goes towards English. When Morris approaches him, his servants stop Morris. Then English signals that he is his own man. "Let him come." Morris goes and sits next to him and immediately starts talking to him. Morris tells him that you will help me escape from here. Hearing this, English laughs. "Look, son, this is not just a prison. This is a grave for us. If we want to get out of here, we will have to die first. Then our death body will reach the cemetery from here. Let's admit it, you climbed these walls, crossed the dangerous forces, and even if you escaped the hundreds of guards here and got out of the prison with some magical power, you still won't be able to escape from here because the sea will block your path ahead. So don't waste time and serve your sentence quietly. At least you will survive." Morris was determined to escape from this prison at all costs. That night, an officer tells Morris that you have been given carpentry work starting tomorrow. You will also be paid 50 cents an hour. Morris immediately agrees to this work because he feels that he can find some tools there that can be useful in his escape. The next day, Morris asks Litmus for a way to escape from here. Litmus says, "Hey, it's very easy. There is an air vent in every cell. Through this, you can reach the roof. Maybe you can escape from there." He smiles at Morris' words and leaves. Then Doc warns Morris that Wolf is coming towards you. Then Wolf comes to stab Morris with a knife. Morris wraps his coat in his hand and starts fighting with him. Meanwhile, a guard comes to stop him. Wolf stabs the guard with a knife too. Now the matter gets worse and the guard of the watchtower starts shooting. Then he goes and Morris and Wolf stop fighting. Morris did not know that there is a guard on the watchtower. Now, one by one, he starts noticing everything in the prison. Morris and Wolf are taken to Block D by the guards, where prisoners are kept in the dark and tortured all night. This was a cell where no prisoner wanted to go. Before leaving, Wolf threatens Morris that son, "You will die at my hands." That night, Morris has to endure various tortures, which worsens his condition. After staying in this dark cell for 2 weeks, he is brought back to his cell, where Litmus sends Morris a note from his pet rat, which says, "Welcome back, Morris." One day, a new prisoner named Charlie comes and is kept in the cell next to Morris. Morris and Charlie quickly become friends. Morris then introduces him to his other friends. At the same time, the warden, without telling anyone, checks the prisoner's cell. When he goes to Doc's cell, there are many paintings made by him in Doc's cell. The warden is surprised that his painting is increasing day by day. Doc has also made a painting of the warden. Seeing this, the warden starts smiling but does not know why. The next day, the warden orders the guards to throw out all the paintings made in Doc's cell. This decision of the warden completely broke Doc from the inside because Doc was alive only with the help of his painting. He loved each painting he made very much because here he had only one happiness and that too was taken away from this poor man. Morris explains to him that it doesn't matter, it was just a painting. You can make more, but Doc was not able to get over the shock. The next day, Morris sees him and tells the guard that please keep an eye on Document. He looks very worried, lest he harm himself. Then the guard tells Morris that you should take care of your painting. Keep busy with work. Doc is also given a job as a carpenter along with Morris. Then Doc secretly puts something in Morris' pocket. After that, he calls a guard and cuts off 3 of his fingers with the axe given for carpentry and says that I don't need the fingers that I can't paint with. Saying this, he starts screaming. Then the guard grabs him and takes him away. Morris sees that DOC has put flowers in his court where he made his painting. Maybe he wants to tell Morris that these people took my happiness away from me. He picks up Doc's severed fingers and puts them in a box. Seeing the guard, he says, "Go and give them to your warden. He will be very happy to see them." The next day, Morris is sitting in his cell. Then he sees that a cockroach is going inside the air vent, which makes him realize that there must be a way out. Just then, English comes and tells him that Doc cut his fingers because he was denied permission to paint. That's why he got angry and cut his fingers. Morris is very angry. The next day in the dining hall, the warden asks Morris why he is supporting Doc so much. He says that there is nothing like that. Saying this, Morris goes back to the table and sits down. There he meets 2 brothers, John and Clarence, but Morris talks to them as if he already knows them. John and Clarence were actually in Morris' gang in another prison. John now finds it easy to escape from prison. Because these 2 brothers were sharp-minded like Morris and now all 3 of them started planning to escape from the prison. In the afternoon, Charlie's girlfriend comes to meet him. On the other hand, English's daughter comes to meet him. English gets teary-eyed as soon as he sees his daughter because his daughter had grown up a lot in his absence and English was very sorry for not being able to see his daughter's childhood. On the other hand, Charlie's wife tells him that your mother is very sick and the doctors say that she will not survive more than a couple of months. Hearing this, Charlie also starts thinking about escaping from Alcatraz. In the meantime, the guard comes and says that the time for talking is over. Now Charlie is very worried. That night, he tells Morris that if you plan to escape from here, include me too. The next day, Morris, Charlie, John and Clarence have a meeting. Then Morris tells them that the air vent of each cell opens on the roof and the second thing is that this place is full of salt water. It's in the middle of a sea full of sand, which has weakened the walls. I have a nail cutter and I've already started digging. If I dig a little deeper and make a small tunnel to reach the roof, after examining this place, I'll know how to escape from here. John asks if the guards will suspect you at night if they find out that you're not in your cell. Then Clarence tells that I have the solution to this problem. He says that there is a barber of my acquaintance who cuts the hair of prisoners. He can supply us with hair and using it, we will make a dummy head for us and lay it on the bed. After that, if we get out of the tunnel in the wall and are on the roof, then the guards will not suspect because there will be dummy heads on the bed of our cell. But the question was still there that we will get out of the prison, but how will we cross the sea? Morris says to John, "Look, I will need your help in this. You work in the clothing department. There you will find raincoats made for these police officers. So you steal some raincoats and give them to me. We can make a tube boat and a live jacket from them and cross the sea." Here Charlie says, "Brother, give me some work too. I also want to help you guys." Morris tells Charlie that when I dig the ventilation grill, you guard it so that no guard sees us. Take it and I will guard it when you dig. Everyone likes Morris's plan and they start working that night. But the nail cutter was too small to dig the wall. Morris had to use a lot of force to operate it. Morris was having a hard time digging the wall. He had a small one in his hand, but he slowly started digging the hole. The next day, he told his friends at the dinner table that he needed a bigger tool to dig. It was getting very difficult to dig the wall with the nail cutter. Then Morris got an idea while looking at the spoon in his hand. He deliberately slipped the spoon on his shoe and made it dirty. After that, Morris called the guard and said, "This spoon is dirty, give me another spoon." The rest of the people also requested the guard to change their spoon. The guard did not find anything wrong with it and he immediately changed the spoon. He gave permission, after which he went straight to the table where another security guard was sitting, but as soon as he started changing the spoons on the table, John distracted the guard there, taking advantage of which Morris picked up 2 spoons instead of 1 and hid one in his pocket, after which he went straight to his cell. At night, English comes to give him the book, so Morris asks if there's any welding equipment here. English understands that Morris is still haunted by the ghost of escaping from prison. He says that I have already told you that your attempt will be in vain because you will be caught and maybe even lose your life. In all these years, I have never thought of escaping because I know it is impossible, but you are stubborn, so what can I do? Try. But Morris does not care about his warning. The next day, he asks Litmus for a match and says that if you help me, I will give your rat its share of food every day. Litmus is happy and accepts this deal because Litmus liked this rat very much. That same night, Litmus makes Morris pass his match. Morris takes out a handle of a nail cutter, from which he is going to make a small shovel. Then he breaks the spoon and attaches it to the handle of the nail cutter. He lights a match and welds the two together to make a sharp tool. Then he starts digging around the vent. Charlie guards it. If a guard comes that way, he will immediately whistle and signal Morris. But while guarding, Charlie gets caught and then a guard comes there. Fortunately, English comes in the middle at the right time and distracts the guard. On the other hand, Charlie's eyes also open while listening to English's conversation. But in tension, he is unable to whistle. After that, he drops something. Morris understands his signal and covers the vent and lies down on the bed. The guard asks, "Is there a smell of burning here?" Morris says, "With you around, is anyone allowed to smoke?" "I don't smell anything." The guard is also happy that, come on, someone appreciates me. As soon as he leaves, Morris removes concrete from all sides of the vent. He sees that screws have also been inserted into the ventilation grill, which will require a sharp tool to cut. In the meantime, whenever Morris gets a chance to go out, he would quietly knock out the cement that has come out of the grill. The next day, while working as a carpenter, he picks up an iron that is as sharp as a knife, but Charlie asks him how you will take it out without getting caught by the metal detector. Morris says very confidently that he will see to it all. When Morris goes out, the metal detector starts ringing at the door. Actually, Morris had brought the metal in his hand. The guard asks, "Why are you taking it?" Morris says, "Sir, I thought I would use it to hang clothes." The guard says, "Don't be too careful." Saying this, the guard takes the metal from him and lets Morris go after checking it thoroughly. But his hero is a hero. Actually, he stole 2 metals, one he had brought one in his hand and the other was hidden in his shoes. He cuts the grill with that sharp iron. Now it is his turn to make a fake head to deceive the guard, for which all 4 of them do their duty. Charlie asks the guard for some paint. He tells the guard that he is fond of making art. The guard does not refuse either and gives him the paint. Morris grinds the concrete taken out of the hole and makes a powder. John collects hair from the barber shop and collects old books from the Clarence Library. After collecting all the materials, Morris starts making a dummy head using water and old magazines. He paints in fake hair on top of it to create a fake head that looks completely real. At the same time, Morris makes a fake cardboard to strengthen his plan. No one will doubt that someone has made a tunnel in the front wall. One night, Morris decided to go up alone, for which he placed the fake skull he had made on the bed and covered it with a blanket up to the neck. After that, he came out of the tunnel with a fake cardboard. There, Morris grabbed Pippies and slowly climbed up to the roof. On the other side, Charlie was guarding outside. After reaching the roof, Morris saw that there was an iron grill up there, which he could not reach even by jumping. In the meantime, a guard came and asked Charlie why he was painting so late at night and why did your friend Morris sleep so early today. Charlie said, "Yes sir, today Morris was tired while doing carpentry work, so he slept early there." Then suddenly, the guard's stick fell down from his hand. While picking it up, he saw that Morris's hair looked very strange. Now Charlie was scared. It feels like a shiver, because the guard who went off duty today reaches inside Morris's cell and touches his hair. Morris asks, "What happened? My hair is so beautiful." At the last minute, Morris came down and lay down there. The next day, Morris tells his friends that there is a way on the roof, but it is tied to the grill and the grill is very high. "I need the help of another friend." Then John says that I have dug my vent completely. I will reach there tonight too. Both of them will open the grill together. That same night, Morris and John reach the roof through their vents. John lifts Morris and Morris grabs the grill. John sees that this iron grill is very strong and it is completely welded. There's only one way to remove it, and that is to cut it with a drill machine. The next day, everyone is playing their own instrument in the music class. Then Morris's eyes fell on a small fan kept there. Seeing this, Morris thinks that he can work on it and make a drill machine. For this, he tells Charlie that you can somehow get this fan from here. The sneaky Charlie easily hides this small fan in his instrument box. When Charlie comes out, the guards check his instrument box, but they do not see the fan and Charlie is let go. As soon as Morris gets the fan, Morris starts working on it, and after several hours, Morris makes a drill machine from this fan. That night, Morris and Charlie climb onto the roof and start cutting the iron rod with the drill machine. The sound of the drill machine was so loud that the guards start coming up after hearing the sound of the drill, but by then Morris cuts a rod of the grill and the sound of drilling stopped. After the sound of the drill stops, the guard ignores him and goes back. Now these four had opened all their ways to escape, after which there were people who were going to escape from Alcatraz, the most secure prison in the world, on Tuesday night, from which no one has been able to escape till date. The next day, they have another meeting and they are in the movie hall where everyone is watching a movie. Morris asks them and Clarence amidst the sound of the movie. Is your vent ready, and what happened to the raincoats from which we were going to make 2 boats and life jackets? They say that everything is ready, our dummy head is also ready, but now it is too late to escape. The next morning during breakfast, Morris placed the flower given by Doc on the table. When the warden saw this flower, the warden came to his table and touched the flower kept there. Seeing this, Litmus gets very angry because this flower was Doc's favorite and Doc was dead. Litmus attacks him in anger. On the one hand, you killed Doc, and on the other hand, you are not leaving even a small sign given by him. But as soon as he attacks the warden, he suddenly has a heart attack and falls down. Morris gets very angry with the warden and the four decide to escape that night. Morris is waiting for midnight so that the guard's guard will be a little weaker, so we will be able to escape easily. Then English gives him some books in Morris's cell. Morris says that I want to shake your hand one last time. English understands that Morris has made a solid plan to escape from here. He quietly leaves here. But then what happens is something that Morris did not think about at all. Warden suddenly comes to check his cell. As if someone told the warden about his plan. Morris gets very nervous because after so many months of hard work, his hard work was about to be ruined. The warden orders to check every corner of Morris's cell. The guard checks everything in Morris's cell. But Morris was not an ordinary prisoner who had made a small plan. Rather, he had made a clear and perfect plan in one go, which not only the warden, but also the warden's father could not catch. Even when the guard removed the suitcase from the particular place where Morris had made a tunnel to escape, Morris was not caught there either because he had already made a fake cardboard board and fitted it perfectly into the wall. When nothing was found there, the warden and the guard leave, but the guard tells Morris and Charlie that they have been talking all night. I can see something black in the lentils. The warden says, okay, tomorrow you change Morris's cell so that they will neither be together nor be able to talk. The next day at breakfast time, Wolf threatens Morris again and tells Morris that tonight will be your last night. Morris tells his friends that this donkey is right, tonight will be my last night here, but in the afternoon, Wolf goes to stab Morris with a knife, then English comes in the middle and catches Wolf. Actually, English also wants to help Morris, whether he succeeds or not, but English wants to help Morris in his work. That night, Morris, John, Clarence, and Charlie decide to go out through their own vents and meet on the roof. Here, Charlie agrees to run away with his friends, but then as soon as he reaches the cell, he starts to panic. Sitting alone in the cell, he decides not to join the plan, and his other 3 friends go out through their own vents and reach the roof. The 3 of them wait for Charlie for a long time, but after a long time, when they feel that Charlie will not come, they decide to leave Charlie and leave. There, the 3 of them start moving forward according to their plan, but in front of Charlie's eyes, his dream of freedom is fading away. The 3 of them slowly started running away, hiding from the searchlight. In this way, they secretly reached the end of the building. Then Charlie, who was sitting in the cell, got excited and he also decided to run away. There, he came out of his vent and reached the roof, but it was too late because he was not able to reach the door up there alone. That is, he missed his chance of freedom due to fear. On the other hand, the 3 of them hung from the pipe on the roof and came down to the ground. Avoiding the eyes of the security guards sitting in the tower, they reached the last wall of the prison. Then the 3 of them climbed the wall of the fence and came out of the prison. Now the 3 of them ran quickly and came to the seashore. Then the 3 of them took out their raincoats and started filling them with air through their mouths. It was taking them a long time to fill them with air through their mouths, but apart from that, they had no other way, so the 3 of them put all their efforts and finally made a tube boat made of raincoats. They inflate it and throw the boot into the water. In this way, the 3 of them escape, ruining the status of Alcatraz. The next morning, a guard is checking each cell. At first, everything seems normal to the guard, But when they reach Charlie, Charlie is standing in his cell like a ghost and is secretly taunting himself that if he had gathered a little courage last night, he might have escaped with the rest of the people. The guard is shocked that your friend is sleeping for so long. He goes to Morris's cell and calls out, but there is no answer from Morris. The guard gets angry and opens the cell and tries to lift him by the hair, but when the guard pulls him up with force, his head falls down. Seeing this, the ground beneath the guard's feet slips because Morris is no longer in the cell but enjoying the outside world. He had left his dummy head on the bed, after which the whole sirens start ringing in Alcatraz. Word spreads throughout the prison that some prisoners have escaped from the prison, after which the warden starts searching for the 3 in secret places of the prison. When the 3 are not found inside the prison, the warden launches a search operation in the sea. The warden does not believe that the 3 have escaped. He thinks that they must have. The 3 must have died in the water, but deep down, the warden knew that the 3 of them were very strong. The 3 of them must have crossed the ocean and are now breathing freedom. The headquarters officer keeps asking the warden questions. What were you sleeping up and found? Now the warden, to save his job and his own image, tells him to write a report as I say. Write that the 3 of them tried to escape, but all 3 of them drowned in the water and died. But no one believed the warden's words, after which Morris became famous all over the world as Giannis by breaking the Alcatraz prison. A year after this accident, the Alcatraz prison was closed because there was no guarantee that no one could escape from here. This is how the film made on a true story ends.